In the book, I talk about the way in which innovation increases efficiency, how much we can do with a given amount of energy. One of the best examples is right behind me. It was on April 26, 1956, that Malcolm McLean, a truck driver from North Carolina, changed our lives forever. McLean wasn't just a truck driver, he was an entrepreneur. To give you a sense of his scalability, he started with one used truck and eventually he owned a whole fleet. His approach to business was more of a Facebook style, move fast and break things, ship and iterate. In this case, literally, because he created the shipping container. Shipping used to be this super slow process. If you look at those old photos of the harbors like Vancouver Harbor right here, the Port of Vancouver, you'll see dock workers rolling barrels and carrying huge sacks with ropes, pulleys, and planks. That was what it was like before McLean. Shipping was expensive, it was inefficient, it was time-consuming, and goods often sat on the docks for weeks. The high cost and the long wait times disincentivized long-distance trade. Shipping anything perishable was a real risk. Rather than load and unload goods, McLean thought, what if I just drove my trucks onto the ships? And so he did. And that was a huge improvement, but it was more a minimal viable product. You see, the engine and the wheels of the truck were this huge waste of space. So McLean iterated and loaded just the trailers. Then the trailers were made more movable by cranes so that they would be easy to transport by train. And eventually he just standardized the shipping container that you can see behind me. Goods could now be packed into a box like those, which could then be put on a truck, then a train, then back on a truck, onto a ship, and into a warehouse from where they could be distributed. This innovation and efficiency completely changed our world. You could make things in the places that they were cheapest to make and then ship them to anywhere on the globe. With geography no longer a barrier, items crisscross the globe, spoiling consumers for choice in every conceivable product. It led to a rapid growth of Asian manufacturing and a decline in US manufacturing. Out-of-season fruits and vegetables were now cheaply available all year round. TVs could be shipped from China to the United States for just $2 a device. iPads for just 5 cents to Europe. Today, 90% of manufactured goods are sent by shipping container. It was such an efficient way to transport goods that the carbon footprint of sun-loving tomatoes could be lower if they were grown in hotter places and then shipped than if they were locally grown under a heated greenhouse. Everything got cheaper too, with manufacturers finding the cheapest labor anywhere on the globe and then cheaply shipping the products to where it would sell at the highest price. This meant that in the West, more people could afford what were previously luxury products. And in the East, exports raised wages and grew the economies of what became known as the Asian tigers. Singapore, Hong Kong, South Korea, Taiwan, and later China and others can all thank their success to the shipping container. Standards of living rose everywhere, and it was all thanks to the standardized 8x8 by 10, 20-foot, or 40-foot corrugated Corten all-weather steel shipping container. In the book, I talk about how this innovation followed the same pattern of collective brain thinking as many, many others.